In this video, we are going to talk about halation. What is halation? Let's look it up. Halation is a visual effect that appears when shooting on film as red, orange halo near the contrasting boundaries of the overexposed areas, as well as a red glare in the midtones. It's usually produced around bright light sources. So, as many of you out there, I am also on the quest for that perfect film look, and I use Filmconvert nitrates, and recently they brought out a add-on that we can now do halation with. So I reached out to them, I sent them an email, and I was like, hey, I have a small YouTube channel and would love to do a review. I don't even know this microphone's working. Anyway, I'd love to do a review on the halation. Please, can you send it to me? And in return, I'll do a review. And the next day I woke up, checked my mails, and lo and behold, they had activated my add-on, which is pretty amazing because I think that just might be the first time I've ever got anything like that, you know? Just asking for shit. It's amazing. So let's get straight into the software, and I'll show you what it can do because it is really, really cool. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut Pro. I've dropped a clip onto the timeline, and I shot this on the Sony FX30, shooting in S-Log. As you can see, it's all grayed out. Well, not grayed out, just looks washed out. So we're going to go down, and I'm going to choose Film Emulation, Filmconvert, drop that on there, open controls. Okay, so we choose our no thank you. Choose our camera make, Sony. Choose our camera model, FX30, and S-Log S-Gamut 3. Boom. Okay, so that does its thing, and I'm not going to go through the entire process of what Filmconvert nitrate can do because it can do wonderful, wonderful things. But let's leave it on there, and let's just see how nice we can make that. Let's just warm it up. That looks really good. The tint, we can play with it a little bit. Something like that. Overall exposure. Not bad. It actually looks pretty good. Just push the exposure a little bit. The saturation. Okay, so now I want to show you the halation. So by default, it is checked on. If we take it off, I want to show you this area, just on the highlighted parts. Okay, off, on. So we can see around the shoulders, around the earrings, even around the car detail. And there is a car somewhere in there. Let's go back to fits. So if we play the clip, okay, and then halation off, halation on. So you can see so that is what we were talking about in our definition of the orangey red glow. You can see it here, you can see it here. And it just adds a little bit of authenticity to your film emulations. And I think it looks great. So in a way, it almost looks like a chromatic aberration, which is a defect of the lens. But in this case, it's deliberate. And some lenses do have really nice chromatic aberration. A lot of the time, people are trying to like have these clinically sharp lenses and everything is supposed to look perfect. But I think the whole point of having a film emulation is to make it look imperfect. So what we can do is if we can actually manipulate the settings. Oh yeah, that is how to view just where the halation is. This tool is so good. I forgot about that. So we can see if we just view what the halation is, it just shows us exactly which areas are being affected. And it's in the highlights, it's in those really glowy parts. So we can push the sensitivity up, and then you can see, I mean, you can make it look like something out of a movie. I don't know, I don't like that. So let's keep the sensitivity where it is, but we can push the strength up, and that will just push up that glow in those areas. We'll punch in again, boom. So that's obviously too much, but you know, I'll leave that to your discretion. You can pull it all the way down, barely nothing, push it up, or you can just leave it on the default. And what's really nice is that you can actually change the color, the hue. So you can go more to the magentas, more to the greens, depending on your preference. Not sure what soften, okay, so softens out the radius of the halation, but we have some additional settings down here. So you can tone down or push up the highlights. The green channel, no idea what that does. The overall brightness, saturation is saturation. The spread, almost like the softness, I guess. The boost, that's just like some extra performance. But I think you can pretty much leave it on its defaults and maybe just push strength a fraction and leave it at that. I mean, I'm pretty stoked with that. It looks so good just for doing absolutely nothing. Alrighty, so that is the very brief video on halation in Filmconvert nitrate. I'm trying to do more videos. It's been a hectic few weeks. I think maybe I'll do a separate video catching you up on what's been happening in my life. It's been pretty busy, but super grateful for the work, and super grateful to each and every one of you guys who do watch and do comments and subscribe. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment in the section below, and we'll see you in the next video.